ब्रह्मचर्यव्रती दंडी सर्ववेदांत पंडित श्रीमद्विवेकयोगी मां प्रचोदयतु सर्वदा. Sometimes, when you want to impregnate our work or feelings with knowledge, we have to remember some elementary truths, sort of. See how we learned to purify our work, removing the non-essentials, the untruths from the work, by implanting Nishkama Bhava, Tyaga, Seva, eliminating I, my, etc. In the same way, we have to take those principles onward and forward in our experiments with bhakti. So first, let us see the origin of bhakti, where it must have come from. See, our great scientific-minded acharyas of yore, the Maharshis, looking at the world and enjoying its beauty and grandeur and magnificence, must have discovered, see, all this magnificence can take place only if there is an element of unity, togetherness, deep understanding, or in other words, some deep love. What keeps the universe united, harmonious, peaceful, beautiful is the element of love which is percolating in it. There is always the union and the separation. Wherever there is a union, it is Advaita. It is an expression of truth. Wherever there is separation, there is an element of untruth. Or we can say Dvaita Bhava comes into it. I and you, me and my, you and yours, this sort of a separation. So they thought, if we pass from the exterior, our actions, to the interior, to our mind, and start taking care of our mental activities, vibrations, feelings, etc., etc., how can we purify them? See, when we enter our mind, we find, sometimes I say, there are only 6 chairs in our mind. All the 6 are occupied. What are the 6 chairs? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsalya. They are sitting there. We don't know of anything else at all. We have never thought of it. Even when we go to the temple, worship, etc., we were doing it externally. They were only external actions. We have not properly impregnated those actions with our knowledge of oneness of truth. So, where do we start? So, they wanted to bring to the mind that expansion by which it will understand truth as the one and only feeling which pervades the universe. And that is sneha or prema. But that prema which the mind is capable of, we are now wasting it on our external relationships. My father, my mother, my child, my husband, my property, my possession. The capacity to love, to expand through love and take it to the whole universe into our mind. Now we are fragmenting it. My love for my father is different, mother is different, husband is different, wife is different, children is different. Sometimes before all that, we have a love for our money, our possession. Somewhere earlier I said PPP, power, position, wealth. So we have to bring out the best in us. This capacity to love is inherent in every being. We have seen it once, told you. A tiger takes care of its cub. A fierce dog is so very kind to its pups. A cat to its kittens. So, the element of love, which is an element, is an expression of the truth within us. It is there present in our mind. But unfortunately, we have not understood the beauty and magnificence of that love. We are wasting it in our external relationships, family relationships, etc., etc. So our great rishis, in their extraordinary kindness they felt for the human being cannot move forward evolutionary. It will be stranded in the karmic level. But he has to traverse the mind, the intellect, and then go to the spiritual level. He will be stranded if he doesn't know the beauty, the expansion which he can gain through love when properly understood. So, out of this compassion must have come the creation of Devata Sarupas, Ishta Devata. Let us see what Swamiji has to talk about Bhakti Yoga. He introduces Bhakti Yoga, the definition of Bhakti which Swamiji gives. Bhakti Yoga is a real, genuine search after the Lord. A search beginning, continuing, ending in love. One single moment of the madness of extreme love to God brings us eternal freedom. So remember Swamiji's word, by work or worship, psychic control or philosophy, by one or more, and be free. Freedom. Freedom is a word which Swamiji used to like so much. So, through love, so now we have seen through karma to freedom. Now, through love, how to get on to the freedom? Today, our love is spoiled, polluted by one word, mamata, attachment. We forget that it is a beautiful gift from the God given to our mind to love. But we use it with some personal motivations, personal interest, kama bhakti. We don't have this kama bhakti, etc. So, that cannot lead us anywhere. So Swamiji says this has to take us to eternal freedom. When a man gets it, he loves all, hates none. He becomes satisfied forever. The minute you take the tirtha of love, suddenly it's not like an amrita. You become one with everything. You start feeling the oneness of it. The minute your materialistic love gets elevated into the real bhakti, then it is something unparalleled feeling. This love cannot be reduced to an earthly benefit. Will I get out of it something? What I will get loving this man? Oh, he's a great man. He has got power, position. No, nothing like that. So long as worldly desires last, that kind of love does not come. See? So we are again starting a purificatory process. We purified our karma. No, we purify our capacity to love. And Swamiji says, Bhakti is greater than karma, greater than yoga, because these are intended for an object in view, while Bhakti is its own fruition, its own means, and its own end. In this context, we can always remember the Bhakti of Sri Radha, about which the The whole of our bhakti literature speaks so highly of Radha and her love, isn't it? So, keeping that in mind, keeping Krishna as the embodiment of love, we can start purifying. So now we know there is the need for having an icon, an idol. So that is how probably this thing came into being, worship of Ishtadevadas, etc. Now, what is the advantage of bhakti? Because bhakti is the easiest and the most natural way to reach the great divine end in view. It must have some disadvantages also, isn't it? Yes, its disadvantage is in its lower forms, it often degenerates into hideous fanaticism. When I love only one type of God, we have known the story of Gandakarna. Gandakarna was so much devoted to Shiva, he could not hear anything else. So it should not be like that. It is not given to all of us to be harmonious in the building up of our characters in this life. Yet we know that character is of the noblest type in which all the three, knowledge, love and yoga, are harmoniously fused. Then he says that a bird to fly, three things are necessary. The two wings and its tail. Its tail is the steering. Two wings and a tail as a rudder for steering. Jnana is one big wing, bhakti is another, and yoga is the tail that keeps up the balance. That is why I call it the security guard or the policeman, Without that yoga, it is very difficult for us to move. He has to be kept as our well-wisher, always with us, like our security guard. So, we are entering into Bhakti Yoga. Let us remember these primary features, the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mahalsalya, which are there in our mind, have to be purified into Bhakti, asking for no return, asking for full surrender. That is how we have to purify our emotions.